Clear during today's Senate hearings with the top commander in Iraq, General David Petraeus, and U.S. Ambassador to Iraq, Ryan Crocker, on the hot seat again. Yesterday, some said their testimony to the House may have swayed some moderate Republicans. It sure didn't look or sound that way today at the Senate.
The greatest risk for a United States policy is not that we are incapable of making progress, but that this progress may be largely beside the point, given the divisions that now afflict Iraqi society. The risk is that our efforts are comparable to a farmer expending his resources and efforts to plant a crop on a floodplain without factoring in the probability the waters may rise.
Americans want to see light at the end of the tunnel, but I think we need something a little more than, say, give us more time to come back again in the fall.
To question strategy is not unpatriotic. Where is this going? Now, let's don't get down into the underbrush of the 18 benchmarks. And by the way, let's clear some of the record on that. Those 18 benchmarks didn't come from the Congress of the United States. Those benchmarks came from the Iraqi government and this administration. Somehow it's the Congress dictated these benchmarks. Well, we didn't. Let's get above the underbrush and look at the strategic context, which essentially we've never done. That's not your fault, General. It's not Ambassador Crocker's fault. It's this administration's fault.
Are you able to say at this time, if we continue what you have laid before the Congress here as a strategy, do you feel that that is making America safer?
Sir, I believe that this is indeed the best course of action to achieve our objectives in Iraq.
Does that make America safer?
Sir, I don't know, actually.
General, I hear this statement more than any other statement from troops. The reason I'm here is I don't want my kids to have to come back. Do you hear that?
I do, sir. And I have a kid who, as you heard...
Who's going to go, probably.
Pin jump wings on and may well. Yes, sir.
Now, there's no may well. He'll either be in Iraq or Afghanistan. You know that, don't you?
Sir, I do.
And the recommendations you're making make it more likely that your own son is going to go to war. You know that, don't you?
Those were all Republicans. My take, it's kind of amazing. You have Democrats in control of Congress and the GOP seemingly abandoning the president on Iraq, and yet somehow the only change in policy is that the president will likely announce that next year troop levels may return to where they were earlier this year.